Welcome back to Superior Sunrise as we continue through the Gulf Coast Classic. Mark Oppold, along with great friend Dr. Bruce Hoffman, Senior Technical Consultant with Elanco Animal Health. Doctor, good to visit with you again. Last time we were going into winter. This is a whole lot better, although you and I were talking about the dry weather in the spring so far. But hey, we need to get into the calving season here and talk about these calves. Unfortunately, calves get sick. And I want to start there talking about what's going on there as it relates to immunity. So good to have you here this morning.
Thanks, Mark. Good to be a part of Superior and just update you on things in the spring. Yeah, we're definitely dry here in Montana, and calving's going well. We're full into it. But as you said, calves still get sick. And the primary protection that we have as cattlemen for these calves comes through colostrum. So if you're still about ready to start calving, remember that colostrum starts developing about 5 weeks prior to calving. So it's important that those cows are on adequate nutrition. And definitely in the West this time of year, we're supplementing those cows. We're trying to get good protein and good nutrition in that cow to develop excellent colostrum. That colostrum has all of the antibodies from that calf as it comes through that colostrum. And so that calf needs to basically ingest that colostrum within 12 hours of birth. And that's the ideal time to absorb those antibodies into the animal's immune system and create immunity. Now, remember that calf's also getting immunity from everything he interacts with. And his immune system is very active and already starting to build up immunity for that calf.
You know, Doctor, we hear about vaccines being blocked by antibodies from the mother. Fact or fiction?
I think it's fiction, Mark, because basically our data shows that even in the face of strong colostral immunity, calves still get protected when an injectable vaccine is used. I mean, our modified live vaccine titanium, we've done numerous studies to show that when we give that to a calf at, say, 30 to 60 days, even in the face of passive immunity, that we still get a high cell-mediated or memory recognition in that immune system that is protective of that calf through weaning. One of the challenges is when people are saying that you have to only use intranasal vaccines, is that intranasal vaccines can actually be short-lived and may not even last through the summer months as far as while the calf is on the cow. The other thing, the intranasal vaccines do not contain BVD virus, which is a key vaccine virus that we need to protect from, because these calves will be exposed to BVD virus once they're weaned and they leave the ranch.
You know, there's a difference in vaccines. I want to just, you take that, if you would, and share with us the differences that producers need to be aware of.
You know, we routinely talk about inactivated vaccines or killed vaccines versus modified live vaccines. And I think our program at Elanco is we stress what's called lifetime immunity. I mentioned it last time we talked, Mark, and the key is that starts at this young calf, right? And so the key is we want to build up immunity for a lifetime with the major, protecting that calf from the major bugs that it's going to be exposed to. A modified live vaccine works by actually giving a vaccine that replicates in that animal. Okay, it won't cause disease. That part's been changed to the vaccine, but it basically replicates and stimulates the immunity through that replication. An inactivated vaccine like Virus Shield basically allows that animal's immune system to respond to that killed vaccine because the adjuvant keeps it at the site of injection there longer. And so that vaccine then stimulates the immune system that way. Both are effective tools when used in the lifetime of that animal.
And you know, all this is a great example for this week, Superior, a good example, premiums being paid for vaccinated calves.
Yep, and so we're starting with branding spring vaccination time. You know, the VAC-24 program, VAC-34 program, those are key that getting these vaccines in these calves. We definitely see that over the years we have premiums paid through the Superior program, and our vaccines like Titanium, Virus Shield, Nuplura, those are key vaccines that fit into this program this time of year. I want to mention one thing, Mark, that, when I talk about modified live and inactivated, a lot of times we just talk about the calves. But remember, this time of year, people are vaccinating cows. And we're thinking about, we're putting bulls in with those cows. Our data shows that we need to be very careful and not be using modified live vaccines on these cows too close to when we put the bulls in. So we need to stay a minimum of 45 days away. And, even though we talk calves at Superior, if we don't get cows bred, we don't have calves to sell. So that cow vaccination program is extremely important also, Mark.
These producers are going to be doing, they could be in large operations, vaccinating a lot of calves at one time. Real quick here, just talking, if we close things out this morning, handling issues to be aware of, Doctor.
Yep, the key is with modified lives, we have to mix the two bottles, right? And once we mix those modified lives, then that product is activated, right? But we need to keep them out of sunlight. We need to keep them out of extreme temperatures. So keep a cooler with an ice pack handy, and ideally don't go back into that bottle with a used needle where you can potentially contaminate the bottle of vaccine. So, I like to do a little quick training deal before branding with my crew. I mean, a lot of times people, they're in such a hurry with spring vaccination. They got the neighbors to help. Do a 5-minute deal on how important these vaccines are to give to these calves and how to protect them and handle them correctly.
Where can we learn more about all the great products Elanco has to offer?
It's simply going to elanco.us. And there's a lot of information there. You can always contact myself or our representatives all across the U.S. Glad to work with you and your veterinarian any way we can.
Well, it's always great to work with you, Doctor, and hope it's a great spring. Get some rain out there, number one.
Yeah,
thanks for joining us this morning. Dr. Bruce Hoffman, Senior Technical Consultant, Elanco Animal Health. More Superior Sunrise coming up from the Gulf Coast Classic after this.